Hey, what's going on Facebook? Is Leif Taylor here, two shy guys and a mic. Coming at you one more time, waiting on my dude J Cab to get on. Let me see. You know how we do. Same routine, nothing's changed. There he is. What's up, J Cab? Let's see if we can get you added in here real quick. What's up, Miss Toya? How are you doing?
Yeah, you know
There
how
he
we
is.
do,
What's
man. What's up, man? How you doing?
pretty good. I was surprised, man. I was expecting to wait like 15 minutes before you came on, but I'm glad you was able to make it, bro.
It's not technical
Yeah, you're
difficulty.
breaking up on me right now.
Okay. How am I looking now? Am I breaking up?
Yeah,
Am I
yeah.
breaking up now?
No,
Am I
you're good.
good?
Yeah, quit putting your fingers in the phone and you're good, man.
Man, I can't hear my music, man. My music's supposed to get me hyped.
You can't hear that?
Oh,
You can't
okay.
hear that? What's up, Matilda? How you doing? What's up, Cherry?
We got a little Fair Elise dub style going on over there. Just wanted to get change it up a little bit. I don't know what's been going on. I went from chill hop to dub
All
style.
right.
Uh,
Show us what you got, man. Show us what you got. I know you've been practicing.
so
Show us what you
nah, man, I ain't got nothing yet.
got. Show us what
I'm
you
gonna
got.
have to wait. I'm gonna wait another night and pull it out on y'all. I'm just gonna break it out.
You're gonna be doing the Fortnite dances. You ain't got it, man. You ain't got it, didn't you?
No, I ain't got it tonight, man. I'm sorry, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It's just I done mellowed out a little bit, but two shy guys that I'm like, Leif and Kevin, you know the deal here. Just having a short, simple conversation. Hopefully, we're gonna shed some light or just remind you, do a review, a year review uh, on some ways to level up during the holiday season. You know, I was thinking about somebody reminded me that Thursday is, or not Thursday, Thanksgiving is coming up pretty soon,
Yeah.
and you know, it's just gotten me in the holiday mindset. Just looking at what's coming up on the calendar and stuff and just a number of things that's got me thinking that way. Number one is usually during this time of the year, I usually go into a state of detoxing kind of from social media and just from a normal way of doing things and kind of just go off and kind of going not into semi seclusion. So that's one way of leveling up is kind of going into a semi, not total seclusion, but a semi seclusion in which you could take the time and meditate, contemplate, and think about where you've been and where you'd like to go, and just see where you're at. That's a bonus level up. Another bonus to level up before I really get into it is to make sure as you go into the holiday season, you know, you might see so you'll start seeing some links to the Two Shy Guy Tribe T-shirt, and we want you to get those shirts so you can rep your tribe when you go back to the family or wherever you go, just to show pride in the community, online community that you belong to. I know that you're proud to be in a community where Leif Taylor is. That just happens to have a, you know, every community has the what's the community idiot or the community guy. So you just happen to be in a community where J Kev is just a part of. So you know, just you gotta love me anyway. I'm just gonna show up. I'm that uncle. I'm that cousin that you know everybody just kind of like, hey, he's part of the family. You can't choose your family. He's showing up, so just love him. And you know, God made all kinds of people. So that's just what's gonna happen.
Yes, sir. And the Kev just sits
But
in the
you
corner
know, it's a
smiling.
who's that? Yeah. But that's a bonus. But just thinking about the holiday season, number one, take the time to kind of go into a semi state of seclusion, given that the year where we're at. we're slowed down just by the weather. The weather, in and of itself, slows us down when it gets colder for many of us, and it has a way of just stifling movement. So take advantage of that whenever you get cabin fever or whatever. That's bonus number one. Bonus number two is get the shirt. Gets any other things you may see popping up, links that's associated with the store, with what we have coming out, just to rep your tribe. And then let's get into it. Just looking at different areas: health, wealth, relationships, and contentment. Just look at it, taking each pillar, each bucket, and a way to level up in each one of them. I'll go through it real quick, and then maybe we can circle back around.
Yep.
Somebody asked me earlier, they were like, so we were having a conversation, like, what do you talk about? What do you do? Whenever you're online, I was like, well, I just talk about ways of me and my friend we just have conversations around the idea of taking back more of your life in whatever way, shape, form, or fashion that you can, however you can, with respect to where you may be in the present moment, uh, contemplating and reflecting upon your past, and then projecting in the future where you'd like to be. And to keep it simple: health, wealth, love, or relationships and contentment. Health, get to the gym, get that pre-strike in before you go through the holidays, right? You want to get yourself fit before you go through. That way, when you actually sit down at the Thanksgiving meal, you won't feel so guilty. Or if you get out of whack, you can bounce back real easily. So exercise, make sure you get familiar with and start practicing some good health principles when it comes to what you eat, how you supplement. Again, exercising, learn about and implementing some proactive things that you can do, like uh, uh, having conversations with your doctor, with your physician, having those conversations with your naturopath if you have one, and with your dentist, with your massage therapist, your chiropractor, the man or woman that does your hair. These are ways in which you could be. Hey, it matters, man. It matters. I know you laughing, but these are ways you can be proactive about your health, and then also your wealth. Look at investing. Make sure your investments are lining up. If they're not, see what you have to do to make sure all your ducks is lined up in a row. If you're in the negative, see what you got to do to get back to zero and above. And looking at your career, if you want to be an employee, what kind of employee do you want to be? Do you just want to be the guy or woman that shows up, or do you want to be a linchpin in your organization, or do you want to be an entrepreneur? I'm my bad. I don't mean to complicate it. Maybe I'm going a little too fast. Am I going too fast, Leif?
You said 4 steps and then you start.
Well,
See,
well, I'm gonna keep rolling. We're gonna come back
yeah,
to it.
just
We'll
list the
simplify
steps
it.
and then we
I
can explain
promise.
the steps. List the steps and we can explain the
I'm
steps.
going through the steps.
So
I'm going through
let's
the
just
steps.
list them simply and then we can explain them. I think that's the confusion.
Health, wealth, relationships, and happiness.
Okay. Health, wealth,
Got
relationship, and happiness.
yes. And in each one of these segments, okay, I'll do one thing in each one of these segments to help level you up for the holiday season. In your health, look at what you're eating and make sure it's from a good source, and make sure it's in line with your health principles that's going to help you become more healthier. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Keep rolling. Keep rolling.
Okay.
We good.
Number two. Number two. Look at your wallet. Is your wallet progressing towards being more than zero and one, or is it going into the further into the negative? Do whatever you have to do to bring that up. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Miss Cheryl's
All
following you.
right.
She's giving you the thumbs up.
Relationships. Make sure you're intentional and purposeful about the relationships and people that you talk to, come in contact with, and meet during the holiday season. Make sure that you're adding value and that they're adding value in some way, shape, or form when it comes to you being in their presence. And then contentment. Make sure that you spend time with your higher power, being prayerful and purposeful, and making sure that you're living your purpose as well as doing the things that you have to do in order to get by in this life. Does that make sense?
Yep. Nice and simple, to the point. I got it.
All right.
Michelle,
Okay.
you good,
Thank
Michelle?
you.
So now you can deep dive. You can deep dive. You laid out the simplistic part. Let's deep dive.
Well, I forgot. I don't want to go back through it again. I'm sleepy, man.
So what was wealth? So Kevin basically said in terms of wealth, he would just make sure your money's increasing up on the left side of the margin as opposed to decreasing on the right side, meaning that your money's going up as opposed to going down. He
And
mentioned
some ways
investments.
to do that inside of that
Yeah,
category is if you're an employee, you might want to check and see what kind of employee you are and what kind of employee you want to be. If you're an entrepreneur, then you want to see, how your endeavors going, and if they're moving in a direction that you would like them to move. Does that make sense?
yeah. And one tip I'd give to everybody is in terms of money. I know a lot of people talk about investments and things like that, but what you need to focus on is making sure that you're out of debt, because a lot of times people are looking to make money through investments, not realizing that they have percentage rates on their debt that they will probably never outpace. So,
Man,
so I advise you to get rid of your debt as quickly as possible. Focus on that. Focus on your spending habits as well, not just in investment, but focus
your
on your
budget, yeah,
spending habits and the things that you're spending your money on. Make sure that you're not wasting your money because a lot of times we waste money and we don't ever really look at it. So make sure that you're curtailing your spending accordingly to the amount of income that you have. Most people spend more than what they actually have, which is why they're in debt. So focus on that as well.
man, that made it even more simpler to
Yeah, do
stop
that.
stop doing versus picking up other stuff to do. So yes, that simplified it even more, especially during this time of the season when things can get out of whack real
Oh yeah,
fast.
especially the holidays. They cater to your heartstrings. They make you spend more money than what you have. You're buying all of these new gadgets, these new gear, all of these things, and then by the time the first of the month, the first of the year hits, you're broke. And then then you're waiting and hoping that you're in a bracket to where you actually make money from your from your taxing, whatever it's called. What is it called? The income tax? I don't know what it's called.
Income
Yeah,
taxes,
income
yeah,
taxes. But most people will actually have to owe in income taxes. And so you get further in debt because you didn't plan for that as well. So definitely make sure that you do planning. Miles Ferris said student debts are like, whoa. Make sure that you
yeah,
plan for that stuff. Because the thing is, your debt collectors will not go away unless you do something radical like a bankruptcy or maybe even talk to them. That's one thing that I would advise you to do. If you have a debt that you've had for quite some time or for a certain amount of years or whatever, call your debt collectors. If you're in debt, call your debt collectors and make sure you get a better rate. That's step one.
yeah,
Get a better rate on your debt, especially if you accumulated your debt during a bad, inflationary year or anything like that. Make sure that you call and reduce your percentage rate on your debt. Also, make sure that you call to reduce your debt, period. Sometimes you can settle for way less than what you owe. So if you have money on hand, one of the best things that you can buy this year is getting yourself out of debt. So if you can pay them a certain percentage of that debt to get rid of it altogether, I would advise that you take the time to do that, because most debt collectors don't get to talk to the people that owe them money. So if you actually call them for a change,
you may be able to negotiate a way better rate than what you have, and actually negotiate your way out of debt. So that's something that I would advise people take advantage of and do, especially during the holiday seasons, because they have to hit their quotas as well. So you'll probably get more calls uh, during this time of year. So make sure you become proactive and hit them up. If you have extra bonus money or Christmas, use that money to get yourself out of debt. Don't use it to spend your way further into debt. So that's what I would advise you do as
Yeah,
personal
Miles
advice.
said, Miles said, stack your money but act broke,
Yeah,
which is a
always.
good simple tactic. And then Miss Cheryl said, check spending habits, like we were talking about. And Shahid said, check your impulse spending. And all that stuff really, especially the impulse spending, that is so
It's
counter